Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. Today I'm going to talk about when you and your partner have different sexual appetites. Different sexual appetites. Now, what does that mean exactly? That means that one of you wants sex a lot more than the other one does. So, why is this happening? What's the reasons behind it? First of all, you got to look at your relationship from the onset when things were in the honeymoon stage, so to speak. How you were with your partner and everything was romantic and it was all new and it was all fresh. In the beginning, everything's great, like I always say. And that's when your sex was really, when you finally had sex with that person, it was probably really good, or the first couple times were really good because it was something new and exciting. Now you've been with the person and now you're seeing maybe that person doesn't want sex as much anymore. And there could be a couple of reasons why. Number one, you have to look at what's going on in that person's life. Are they dealing with a lot of stress? Do they have financial problems? Do they have family problems? Do they have problems with their kids? That could be one reason. Or the other reason is they could be getting it somewhere else. This happens a lot, and especially with women to men. It could happen men to women as well, or partner to partner. What happens is a lot of people, like we've seen in the group, women will say, my husband, he doesn't want to have sex with me, and it's been like 7-8 months, and he keeps making excuses. Generally, if somebody is not, and especially when we're talking about men, okay, this doesn't go for all men, but a large percentage of men, if he's not looking to have sex with you and there's nothing major going on in his life, okay, like crisis situation, you can trust and believe that most times he's getting it somewhere else, okay? Men, as we know, are very visual type of people, all right? They are not necessarily built the same as women. Now, there are women, it could be the same thing. A guy could experience that with his wife, where maybe she's just, she's strayed from the relationship and she's making excuses and she doesn't want to sleep with him. And she tells him, all these different kinds of excuses. She's tired from work all the time or whatever it could be. All right. She could be getting it somewhere else too. So you have to, you got to look at everything, you guys, when you're trying to figure out what's going on. Why aren't you guys in alignment and want to be together sexually? Okay? Because if you're into your partner, you should want to get with them, as many times as you used to get with them. Now, I know things happen. I know in life, people have children or they're busy with different things and it gets a little complicated. And yeah, later on in life, maybe you don't have sex as often because you're busy with kids, okay? Or you have those kind of issues going on. But the thing is, you have to be, you have to communicate with your partner. And if your partner is consistently making excuses, that is a red flag. Okay? That is a red flag unless something major is going on in their life. A couple of reasons. Now, if you're a woman and you have, let's say, 5 young kids and you're tired and you're also a working mom and maybe you just can't, you can't have sex every night or anything like that, you have to communicate with your partner and you have to work out a schedule that kind of meets in the middle with that person. And they have to be understanding of that as well. You have to kind of compromise and come together. Okay? See, this is what happens. A lot of times partners stray from the relationship because they feel like, their partner is not into sex or anything like that. Now, that's not always the case. Because you could have women that are laying it down and giving good sex all the time and their partner could still stray too. Sometimes there's people that just, have that kind of selfishness about them, or they need that validation outside their relationship. They could have a great relationship with somebody, but they want to, they want something new. They want something fresh. They want to know that they still got it. Maybe they get mad at their partner, and because they're a selfish person, to get back at them, they cheat on them. Yeah, that happens all the time. And especially when you're dealing with a narcissist, because a narcissist, which we all know is a very self-centered person, it's all about them, very toxic, okay? They wouldn't think of nothing to go outside the relationship if they were having a bad argument or you were fighting with them all the time, to try to get sexually fulfilled somewhere else. And in a way, they're laughing behind your back because they're saying to themselves, I got back at her, she didn't want to give me sex or something, or she's always arguing with me, or she's always fighting with me. Okay, so that's why I always tell you guys, know what type of character your partner has. If your partner is somebody with morals and values and has respect for a healthy relationship and doesn't want to break that bond, they will not go outside the relationship and stray, okay? Because they value the relationship. They have that moral and they have that values. But if you're dealing with someone who just doesn't give a crap, okay, and like anything goes, and they have a philosophy like, oh, well, everybody cheats, it's okay. As long as, they don't find out about it, it's okay. Okay, and this could go for women and men, men going out and doing that too, because you have plenty of women narcissists as well. But the point I'm trying to make is we're talking about different sexual appetites, all right? When you got involved with your partner, everybody in general has a certain kind of sexual style, what they like in bed. What are the things that turn them on, okay? And you want to, that's why people, that are together, they do date night. They try to spice it up. Sometimes, the woman will dress up or, high heels or do, really kind of freaky things because they want their partner to remember, what a great time they had together. So they try new and different things, but you have to feel comfortable with it. You got to be comfortable with it, and you got to be comfortable with your partner. And the thing is this, you guys, and I always tell people this too, a lot of people always ask about cheating and stuff like that. Like, how do you know somebody's cheating? Blah, blah, blah. A lot of times, if you're a very sharp person, you could tell by how that person treats you. How hungry are they for you in the bedroom? Okay? Now, you got to be really, really sharp to pick this off because not everybody can do it. Like, people could still have sex with you and be cheating on you, and you're still thinking, well, we're still having sex, everything's okay. But you could tell by somebody's face, you could tell by how much somebody's into you, if they're fully into you, if they're hungry, if they're thirsty for you. You will know, okay? You will know if they're getting it somewhere else or if they're coming to you for it. So, you got to pick up on these little things. And you have to understand, if you got involved with a certain person that's a very sexual person, that's the kind of person you're dealing with, okay? And you have to make a compromise with them. You may not always feel like having sex as often as them, but you got to kind of meet in the middle. This is what relationships are about. Compromise, you guys. Unless you had somebody that was, completely where you were on your page as far as, sexual satisfaction, and you guys were the kind that were going at it 24/7, all right? And then all of a sudden you see that person is waning off and doesn't seem as interested. First thing, like I told you, you have to see what is causing them to become a little bit aloof or not as interested in the sex. Is there something major going on in their life? And like I said, the longer you're with somebody, you start to get comfortable with them too, but you still want to spice it up, okay? Because, it could get boring after a while if if your sex is always the same. That's why you want to do different things with that person. Maybe you want to have sex in a different room of the house. I had a girlfriend who had sex on the frigging washing machine, or they had sex on a train, or they had sex in a car, or they did different things to really spruce up their love life. All these kind of things, bring a spark, bring an excitement. Because one of the things you don't want to do is fall into this rut of boredom. I know it's hard. I know we're in quarantine. I know, when you have all these other stressors going on in your life, especially if you have children and, you have all that responsibility, but you have to make time for it. And especially if your partner has a huge sexual appetite. All right. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, too. This is what a lot of women don't understand. They will take the attitude like, well, I am killing myself here. I have these kids here. And by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I just want to go to bed. And the last thing I feel like doing is having sex. I value my sleep. So what you need to do is talk to your partner and see if your partner could help you out with the kids to give you a little bit more energy so that you will have that energy to give to them later on. And your partner's got to be considerate of the fact that there are other things going on in your life. Now, this is if you're in a situation where there's children involved. If there's no children involved, I'm sorry, there's no excuse there, all right? You guys should be getting busy. But unless you have other things happening in your life. But you want to, another reason that a lot of people have different sexual appetites or their sexual appetite changes is because they could be mad at their partner for something. Maybe you and your partner had a disagreement about something and you're not feeling the sexual attraction towards them because they pissed you off. Maybe they pissed you off at a family party and put you down, or made a sarcastic remark or just yesed you to death. And the last thing you feel like doing is, to get in bed with them. You have to work out your emotional relationship in order to make the sexual relationship more intimate. Okay, because it's very hard to open yourself up with your partner and be really sexual and feel really comfortable and be really into it when, there's something bugging you. All right, like your brain has to be aligned with that person and be at peace if you can, in order to really relax and have the best sex that you want to have. Okay, so you got to work out all these kind of other issues. And that's where communication comes in, where you have to communicate with your partner in a very, mature manner and not attacking or anything like that. I did a podcast on this, how to communicate or how to resolve conflict, through communications in a relationship. And when you resolve any kind of issues that are bothering you with your partner, your sex life will improve, you guys. Okay? As long as you guys are committed to the relationship, you're going to want to be with each other and you're going to want to fully be with each other. So you have to work out those other emotional issues or those other things that are bothering you in the relationship, and then your sex life should improve, okay? Because you're going in with a peace of mind and you're going to be more apt to be more free sexually with them in the bed. You're not going to just go through the motions, let me have sex with them, because if I don't have sex with them, they may go outside the relationship and have sex with somebody else. A lot of people do that. So what I'm trying to say is you want to work out your issues with that person. And then when you come to some kind of compromise with that person, then you also want to work on the sexual side of the relationship. The way you got to look at it is there's two components to a relationship. You have the emotional side, you're every day getting along with the person, working out things, who likes to stay home, who likes to go out, working out your finances. And then you have the sexual component where you both want to be satisfied. And, sometimes when you have to do things that maybe you don't want to do in order to satisfy your partner, okay? But you should feel comfortable with, as long as it's not extreme and it goes beyond your boundaries, you have to be willing to, open up to that person and communicate with that person, and they should as well, okay? And come to a common balance to work together and have a great sexual life and work out a schedule of when to get together. And it's not just about having a date night too, you guys. That's another thing I wanted to bring up. A lot of people that are together, they do the routine date night and everything like that, the routine date night. And after a while, it gets boring. It's the same old thing, but they go through the motions. You want to spice up your sex life, do things spontaneously. Come up against your partner when they least expect it in the kitchen and unzip their pants or do something like that. And I'm telling you, you will drive them crazy. Trust me when I tell you, okay? As long as there's nothing else that's bothering them. Just little spontaneity. Men love spontaneity, okay? They love that. They love it. They love a woman that's all into it, that wants to get into it, that wants to get down. I have so many guy friends, and a lot of these guys are players or whatever. They date a lot of women. Every last one of them told me, I love a woman that, is into the sex. I love a woman who knows how to get freaky, okay? They all say, I want to freak in bed. And what that means is somebody that could really get down with them, get down and dirty, all right? So you got to remember that when you're dealing with your man, all right? And if you're a guy and you're dealing with your woman, you want to make sure that she's comfortable, that there aren't other things that are going on that are bothering her. And the more comfortable you make that woman, the more she's going to open up to you, all right? Unless she's just a stick in the mud, then you picked the wrong one. Sorry to tell you, okay? So the whole thing is get that mental connection with that person, make it good, and then work on the sexual side of it. And you should come together and trying to, be as one and work out having, that connection with your sexual appetite. Okay, I hope that helps you. If it did, please hit the subscribe button and share, and have a great day. Hi, it's Yaz, and I just want to let you guys know that if you're having a problem in your dating or your relationship, go to my website, link in the bio, and I'm offering email or phone coaching, because everybody's problems are different, and sometimes you just want a confidential opinion on a situation you're in. You're confused, you don't know what to do, you love your partner and you're having problems, and you just need somebody to tell it to you straight as to what's going on, why it's going on, and offer you some ideas of how to solve the problem. So go to the website, link in the description, and check it out.